Android apps are taking way more of your data than you might have thought. Google's Play Store has labels that show users how much data a particular app collects. But apparently 80% of those labels are wrong, according to Mozilla's new research. And this wasn't some crazy investigation, they just looked at the privacy policy of various apps, which often indicated that the apps collect far more data than what is shown on the Play Store. Unlike this channel, which doesn't collect any of your data, it just gives you data, so hey, maybe follow for more. Some of the worst apps were Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, and even games like Minecraft. And unfortunately, this is because Google doesn't actually care enough to implement a system that would actually work. And there's really no punishment for mislabeling your apps at the moment, so the developers can just fill out that info however they want. Oh boy, another development or article on data safety and how apps just take way more of your data. And the problem is, most people just don't care about this. I often get pushback while making videos about like, look man, I have nothing to hide. Why would I care if these companies are actually taking my data? So I'm just gonna address this real quick, sort of at the start of the talking portion of the video. So you have nothing to hide, and that's totally fine, but that's really not the point. The point is more of the principle. So for instance, if you have a living room and all you do in your living room is you just watch your TV, for example, would you let somebody stand outside your house and just look at you while you're doing that? Again, you have nothing to hide, but are you really just gonna let some random person stare into your lip? Probably not, right? That, like, you would probably be a little bit crazy. Here's another example. For instance, maybe you order a few packages from Amazon. You come outside when they're delivered and you just see a bunch of mailmen just going through your packages like, oh, this is pretty interesting, you know? Oh, look at this. He got this weird additive for his engine oil in his car that doesn't really work. So, you know, maybe his car is on his way out, and judging by what he bought, he doesn't really know a lot about cars, so who knows, maybe I'll just contact a dealership and we'll just scam this guy together, make some money off of him. But it's fine, because you have nothing to hide, so, right? Like, people can just do that. And here we have the example for TikTok. So no data shared with third parties. Wow. Wow. That you see, that is one of the best jokes I've ever heard in my life. But then you actually go to TikTok's own privacy policy and they say third-party platforms and partners, we share limited information. Limited information. That's a funny way of putting it. Like, what is limited information? I guess if you have a digital clock, that only shows you a limited information of time, right? Because it's not like completely analog. So yeah, limited information. Pretty cool. So yeah, Google just doesn't care about this issue enough to really do anything about it. That's sort of the issue here. I believe they only implemented this just to have it because Apple did it. So they were like, well, we should probably do it, right? But they just didn't put good enough of a system in here. So basically the developers fill out all of these things themselves. Google probably doesn't even check these things. They just have some sort of an automatic system that doesn't even work. And I have also seen some developers complain about the fact that the questions that sort of then determine the tags and these privacy policies that you're gonna get for your app on the Play Store, the questions that you get for that are pretty confusing and stuff like that. So some of them aren't even like straight up lying on purpose. It's just how it turns out. So it's just a mess. Yeah, everyone wants your data. So no one's really too worried about it, because if you sort of plug one hole, then, you know, you might start plugging some other holes that some other people might need for data collection, because data is more valuable than gold these days.